Right now at noon, residents in Lamar, Missouri present a plan to the city council to save the Lamar Aquatic Center.
And we have an alert day this Tuesday. Strong to severe thunderstorms still expected as we head into the afternoon hours. We'll break it all down for you coming up.
Plus, drivers in Cherokee County can expect increased police presence for the holiday weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, it's an alert day across the 4 states as we're tracking thunderstorms expected to happen in the area. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Go straight to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, that's right. We do have that alert day in place. So as we discussed this morning, there is that possibility of isolated showers or storms developing as early as now. That possibility is still there. It is still relatively remote. And as you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, nothing out there. However, we made it about halfway as we've started to see some of those cumulus clouds get going out there. And if anything can get going with these clouds, then we could have that potential for some earlier development of strong to severe thunderstorms within the next hour or so. Still, the best chances look to be between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. across the area, and not much has changed since earlier this morning in terms of the outlook. We still have a low to elevated tornado threat across the area. We do have that elevated to enhanced hail risk. Now, since early this morning, that's been the biggest change, is the enhanced zone has been stretched down much further south, and the elevated zone's been expanded further to the west, and we also have those hatch marks still in roughly the same areas, just a little further west than this morning for the possibility of significant hail. So we're talking 2 inches in diameter or larger, and we still have a low to elevated wind risk across the area as well. As we discussed this morning too, this is not our only opportunity for strong to severe thunderstorms, as we have a low to elevated risk along and south of I-44 as we head into tomorrow morning. We also have an elevated risk as we head into Thursday across a good portion of the area. That looks to be late evening and into the early overnight hours. Quick look, well, sometimes, as you know, that doesn't fill in, but we did make it up to 86 yesterday. Not quite a record, but well above where we're supposed to be. We're already headed that direction again. 81 in Joplin, 80 in Pittsburgh. Very muggy outside as well. Temperatures upper 70s, low 80s, and we've got those south winds out there gusting upwards of 40 miles an hour. Now, this line of storms is not going to be very big in terms of its length from front to back. So once it gets through, it'll move through rather quickly, and we'll start to clear out overnight tonight, back down to 66 by midnight, ahead of additional thunderstorm chances, as we mentioned, heading into tomorrow morning. We're going to break down all the details on these thunderstorms, the timing tonight, the timing tomorrow, and how things are shaping up for the rest of the week in that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. And we are live at the Great American Flag Swap 2024 over at Jake's Fireworks in Pittsburgh. It began at noon and will run until 1:30 p.m. People can bring in their old tattered flags to be replaced with brand new ones, courtesy of KOAM and Fox 14. The old flags will receive a proper disposal. Today's event always serves as a great way to give something to the community and to support veterans. Well, Sam Butcher, the founder and creative force behind Precious Moments artwork, has died. The company shared the news yesterday through their Facebook page, saying in part, quote, "Although the sorrow is great, it is our prayer that the appreciation and celebration of his legacy be even greater," end quote. According to the Precious Moments website, Butcher began drawing at an early age. The public was first introduced to the Precious Moments artwork in 1975 on greeting cards and posters. The Precious Moments Chapel first opened its doors in 1989 in Carthage, Missouri. Sam Butcher was 85 years old. Authorities in Montgomery County, Kansas say a teenager who drowned over the weekend at Big Hill Lake had just graduated high school hours before. Authorities say 17-year-old Alonzo Juan drowned in the lake swimming area Saturday afternoon, just hours after he received his diploma from Field Kinley High School. A GoFundMe has been established to return his body to his parents in Guatemala. You can find a link on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The Carthage, Missouri City Council has set a date for an impeachment hearing for Mayor Dan Reif. City leaders will meet on June 5th at 4 p.m. to discuss the mayor's impeachment. Yesterday, they overrode the mayor's veto to set the hearing. This comes after a months-long dispute over efforts to remove City Administrator Greg Dagnon from office. Mayor Reif opposed the efforts by council members. Now, with the aid of outside legal counsel, the council members will attempt to prove Mayor Reif has not been doing his job properly. More than a month after the city of Lamar, Missouri began accepting bids for the removal of its aquatic center, some citizens have a plan to save it. The Save the Pool group presented their proposal to the city council. They say they found a contractor who looked at the center and came up with some ideas on how to restore and reopen it.
This month we have really worked hard. We have brought in a contractor who renovates and refurbishes pools and had him look at our assets that we have left there. And his first remarks is, he says, "Why do you want to bulldoze these assets?" He says, "There's a lot of money sitting here." So tonight what we want to do is present an alternative to what the city can look to.
The center has been closed for several years due to issues including leaks, low attendance, and staffing shortages. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office announced a traffic enforcement campaign for Memorial Day. More deputies will be patrolling highways and secondary roads this weekend. That's thanks to the Special Traffic Enforcement Program grant. According to the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, patrolling deputies are keeping an eye out for drivers traveling at unsafe speeds, impaired, and other traffic infractions. A piece of history is set to come chugging through Pittsburgh today as the Empress 2816 steam locomotive will stop by for its final Spike steam tour. The 2816 steam train will briefly stop in Pittsburgh to change crews. It's traveling down from Kansas City and will be en route to Shreveport, Louisiana. Coming up, the Joplin Public Library celebrates the return of some familiar faces. And later, we're making dilly dally potato salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. A donation is giving a special garden in Carl Junction new life. Minnie Doyle graduated from Carl Junction High School in 1997, then spent 13 years working for the school's special education department. She passed away from cancer last May. The school established a garden in her honor, and yesterday, Southern Star Gas Pipeline donated $1,000 worth of plants to honor her memory. Libraries are known for letting the public borrow many things, but not their statues outside. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how the community is celebrating the replacement of a beloved statue at the Joplin Public Library.
It's so rare that anything, on the public library property would be messed with or damaged or taken, and so I was very disbelieving. I couldn't believe that had even happened, and then I had a lot of questions about why, what could they even do with it?
Shock. That's the feeling many community members have had after a popular statue at the Joplin Public Library was stolen nearly 1 year ago.
When the statue went missing last year, I was very sad.
Although a suspect has been identified and is awaiting trial for the theft, the statue has never been recovered. The work, titled "Two Kids on Bench," was a donation from the Kiwanis Club of Joplin. Library staff say the structure is well loved by the community.
I was kind of speechless whenever the community, the outpouring of love and just messaging from the community came about. So I know people really like that bench. I would see them interacting with it and their kids taking photos with it every day.
And it was that community reaction that drove the Kiwanis Club and other community donors to figure out a way to replace the bench.
The Joplin Kiwanis Club is all about serving the children of our Joplin area, and we felt that this statue represents the benefit of the Joplin Library for the children of the area.
And the generosity has not gone unnoticed by even the youngest of library patrons.
Thanks to the community of putting the statue back. Because you brought the statue back, and kids will be probably filled with joy.
And she has a warning for any thieves thinking about trying to take the new statue.
Well, I would say put it back where it belongs. If don't, let's get rough.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, the Kiwanis Club of Joplin is also donating insurance to help protect the new replacement statue. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Don't dilly-dally or you'll miss what we're making today. And we wouldn't want that now, would we?
And we're tracking that possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. The latest on your forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we do have that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon, and that's why we have an alert day today. So on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, if you've looked outside, you've probably noticed, at least for some of you, there are some clouds that have built in. We've had some cumulus clouds build in, and you can see those on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. However, what is not being associated with them at this point is precipitation. That's honestly a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a great thing, because this was the window where we could have seen a few more discrete cells, more along the lines of supercellular type storms that could have given us a few more problems a little earlier than the main line of storms later. We still need to watch these. We still need to watch for potential development along that field, but the good news is right now that is not the case. You can watch these clouds flare up, but no precipitation. We know it's working also because you can see the showers and storms up in Nebraska that have formed up there, so we're okay here. But if you look outside again, cloudy skies for some of us. MoDOT camera 20th and range line showing us those clouds. A few of those now starting to work into Neosho. A few minutes ago, this had a little more sunshine on there. Our camera on the Cornell complex, we got mostly cloudy skies in Joplin, but we also have this to contend with, which is those 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts out of the south. So here's a look one more time again at the risks that we have. Low to elevated tornado threat across the region. We have an elevated to enhanced risk for hail, and that's the biggest change from this morning, is that enhanced risk was confined up in our northern counties, stretching about as far south as Nevada, and now you can see that makes it almost all the way to the Arkansas state line. It does back up into Kansas. So Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Galena, Baxter Springs, Riverton, Miami, you're into that area. And then a marauder portion in those hatch marks indicating the possibility of the very large hail, 2 inches in diameter or greater. And we have a low to elevated wind threat. And as mentioned, we have the possibility of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms tomorrow morning between about 6 and 11 a.m. at this point is what it looks like, right along and south of I-44. So a little more confined, a slightly lower risk out there, but nonetheless, we got to watch it. And then Thursday, late evening into the early overnight at this point, we have a low to elevated risk for additional strong to severe thunderstorms out there. And we could potentially see that carry into Friday and possibly as far as Saturday. So here's the future track, showing those clouds, no initial precipitation with it as we head into the early afternoons, about 45 minutes from now. Then we get about 3, and that's when we're going to start to see these storms. They're going to fire up. Look at how quickly they fire up as well. These storms really get going. They get going fast. They intensify quickly, and they're going to bring all hazards. Now, this is the other concern we've got to watch. Even though we're expecting a line along that front, as you can see, some of these storms could be separated from the others. And if we get supercells embedded within the line, that's why we have that low to elevated tornado threat out there, is because of that possibility. This line will surge off to the south and east. Here we are by 7, so outside of Stockton, but Mount Vernon, Monette, getting ready to roll into Cassville, Bentonville, just south of Anderson, south of Grove, back into Delaware County. And then by about 10 o'clock, all we've got left is a couple of showers. But this pause is brief. As we go into the overnight, skies clear out. We're mostly clear. We're still relatively mild. Temperatures will fall a bit into the upper 50s, low 60s. But here we are, 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Clouds increasing again off to our south and west. More showers and more thunderstorms start to roll in. So by 7, so this is one of those oddball situations for us where traditionally, we see the severe weather in the afternoon, evening, overnight hours. Not so much as we start the day, but that's what we're looking at. And again, this is where we're going to have that opportunity. Some of these storms could be strong, possibly severe along and south of I-44. Thunderstorms continue through the morning into about the noon hour. Few of those still out there. Some of those still could be strong. And then by about 3 o'clock, the last of those showers are out of here. And then we've got to contend with what's going on as we head down the road into Friday and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right, upper 80s again today for those highs, mid 70s tomorrow, so a little below normal. Then we warm back up again, low to mid 80s heading into the weekend. Thunderstorm chances through Saturday. Brief pause in activity Sunday, Monday. A few more showers Tuesday, and then we'll have an opportunity to calm down by the middle of next week. But again, the next roughly 72 hours is going to be packed with some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms. The greatest threat is going to be this afternoon. But we still got to watch tomorrow and Thursday as well.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Chris. We'll stick around. We're making dilly-dally potato salad in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Today's Mr. Food recipe is perfect for a holiday weekend picnic. Howard shows us how to make dilly-dally potato salad in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
With Memorial Day right around the corner, it's time to start thinking about what new side dishes we're going to be serving at this year's picnics and barbecues. Of course, we're not giving up our old favorites, but by adding a new one to the mix, it'll keep things exciting. And the one we're sharing with you today is diabetic friendly and summertime fresh. We start out by cooking about 2 pounds of red skin potatoes until they're tender but not mushy. After we drain them, we let them sit for a bit while we mix together some low-fat plain yogurt, a bit of mayonnaise, a squirt of Dijon mustard, a splash of apple cider vinegar, and a few spices. After cutting the potatoes into chunks, we add them to a dressing, along with some diced celery, chopped red onion, and some freshly chopped dill. We toss this all together before popping it into the fridge to chill for a bit. You see, with the fresh dill, the accent of the mustard, the vinegar, and the tang of the yogurt, this has everything to make it the star of this weekend's holiday bash. So, what do you say you go online and get the recipe for what we call Dilly Dally Potato Salad? And no one has to know that it's diabetic friendly since it's so big on taste. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresher and brighter way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, we have our alert date today. Thunderstorms rolling into the area between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. out there. Some of those strong to severe, all hazards possible. Meteorologist Doug Hitty will be here this evening to track those. Otherwise, still very warm and muggy, upper 80s. More strong to severe thunderstorms possible along and south of I-44 tomorrow. More possible across the area on Thursday. Thunderstorm chances continue through Saturday. So a lot to keep an eye on in the next 72 hours with those severe
Yeah,
threats.
sounds like it. Thanks, Chris. Well, coming up tonight at 5, the FAA is under new pressure to look at the size and safety of airplane seats. We're going to take a look at why Congress is demanding new tests be done to ensure safety for passengers. Plus, Big Brutus is celebrating its 50th retirement anniversary. We'll learn about their special upcoming celebration. And Arvis Bank's Million Meals campaign is underway, raising funds to feed local communities while also raising awareness about food insecurity. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.